guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, June 14th, 2021. My name is Aubrey. We are in for a very intense and interesting week, and this is my astrological outlook for the day. So here we are today. We are just in the midst of so many intense energetics right now. It's like one is just happening and hitting one after another, after another, after another. And right now, today, Monday, we are in the midst of another one of those big, very active days. And this day today actually is giving us a bit of a taste of what's to come in the next couple of weeks, because it's activating an alignment that is currently pending and that is going to make a lot of big changes happen in kind of like big and combustible ways. And I will talk about that as I get through my report. But today is just one of those significant days, and there is a lot happening, okay? And we're gonna start this off with today being the day that the Uranus in Taurus square to Saturn retrograde in Aquarius comes 100% exact right to the minute. Now, this aspect moved to the exact degree, activated the exact degree on Saturday, and today, Monday, they are going to be each discharging the same degree down to the same minute. So this aspect is coming exact. And Uranus in square to Saturn, this is a conflict between desire to experience freedom and to be our true selves in one area of our lives that is creating like a tension, or that's receiving some kind of tension from a force or situation that's exerting pressure or restriction or responsibility or control or blocking our ability to experience that true liberation and freedom of expression that we're looking for. Another area of our life is kind of really restricting our ability to do this and slowing us down in making this change, or being able to make this change and free ourselves, or it's holding us back in some type of way. And this specifically is going to be pertaining to things and situations that were happening around January and February of last year, because we're having an exact square between these two planets, and this is the second time that they are making this exact square. The first time they made it was last winter, January, February. And if you think back to that time, there was a lot of conflict, there was a lot of chaos, there was a lot of fight going on, and a lot of protests and a lot of eruptions, and just it was very obvious to see what was happening with this dynamic. And also in terms of the financial markets, because remember, Uranus is in Taurus right now, and that's when we had that whole GameStop thing going on, and people were really trying to take the power away from the hedge funds and really get people back involved in an opportunity where they can make money to liberate themselves. The Aquarian theme, especially in Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus rules Aquarius, where Saturn is right now. So today, again, think back to whatever themes were going on in your life around January, February of last year, because those things are coming back up again right now, and in a very potentially shocking and surprising way. And it's a desire to rebel and be liberated against a force that is restricting, controlling, and holding you back or holding you down in some way. And the changes that we are trying to make, we really want to make them. We really want to make them happen, but they are going to just take some time. It is going to be a slower process because Saturn is there in square. So this week I'm expecting to be marked by quite a bit of conflict, tension, protests, and just a very tense dynamic and intense dynamic in terms of what we're experiencing in our personal lives, and again, things relating back into that January, February time frame. Now, another thing that is setting this specific activation off today is that it just so happens, the way the universe wants this blueprint to play out, it just so happens that as the square is coming exact to the minute, we also have the moon transiting Leo and coming into opposition with Saturn, and therefore in square to Uranus, because it's the fixed signs, the fixed axis right now is highlighted. Taurus, Scorpio is the only sign that is empty today. We have Uranus in Taurus, Saturn in Aquarius, the moon in Leo opposing Saturn and squaring Uranus. The moon is our feelings, and in Leo, it's turning up the heat. The moon in Leo very much wants to be a protector, is very loyal, is very defensive over the things that we love, has a lot of pride, a lot of courage. And so we're really not going to be emotionally tolerating this, whatever is limiting our personal expression of our authenticity and our desire to align with freedom today. So, and this, like I said in the beginning, this is actually giving us a taste of what we're going to be experiencing the next few weeks, because Mars is also in Leo now, and Mars is moving into Mars moves about 2 degrees a day, and Mars is moving into opposition with Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. And so when Mars moves into opposition and square to Saturn and Uranus, this is really setting us up for like some really serious major conflicts that could be very eruptive, very explosive, have very much to do with control structures and people, again, wanting to be liberated from those, and just a fight, a battle that is going on, and just very dynamic, very intense, very willful, very motivated. And Mars and Leo, very hot, very heated, and that is something that we are going to be working with moving through the summer and the next couple of weeks. That is probably going to make some major changes happen, because Uranus is involved, and Uranus rules shocks, surprises, changes. But ultimately, it's to put things right. And ultimately, this is part of the process of building second renaissance. And Saturn is retrograde right now. So Saturn is backtracking and reevaluating and restructuring and reforming. And this also has a lot to do with the process of Mercury going retrograde and the square to Neptune that Mercury is making, and the eclipse and everything that's going on. And this is not all for today. This is really just the introduction, because the sun is in a big aspect today as well, and the degree of Mars today is also indicating some things that could be happening. But this day, June 14th, this is a big active trigger day, especially with the moon lining up in Leo opposite the exact to the minute square between Uranus and Saturn. Now we have the moon here, and the moon is the trigger point anyways, because the moon rules our internal environment and our emotions and how we're feeling, and most of the time how we're feeling is what triggers, what we're thinking about, the nature of our thoughts, and then it then goes out and impacts our behavior and what we're doing and how we're acting. So today, with the moon here, this is going to give us a little bit of a glimpse of what we can expect over the next few weeks as Mars comes into opposition with Saturn and square to Uranus as well, the role that the moon is playing today. So we really want to try our best, despite the circumstances, not to act before we think, and not to engage in unnecessary conflict. Even though we might really be feeling the instinct and really be feeling the urge, we still want to remember that it is not in the best interest of the energetics and what's going on right now for us to resonate to that frequency of conflict. Whatever happens, we need to still be able to pull ourselves out of that, realize that this is just part of the plan, and that everything is going as it's meant to go for the best possible outcome to unfold. So we really ultimately have nothing to be angry or upset about, because this is just a part of the process, and we need to try to keep that in mind and not allow our own frequency to become a magnification of the frequency of conflict, because that's not helping the overall cause and purpose. Although conflict during this time does appear to be necessary, because conflict is also what creates change, and we are moving into the new world, the age of Aquarius, and this change, whatever comes from it, is a necessary part of that. But we just need to not be pulled down into the lower vibrations of it, and maintain the faith and understand that this is just a part of an unfolding process. Okay, so we are ripe for shocks, surprises, sudden changes. There is a definite dichotomy and power struggle going on right now between the need to be free and authentic and liberated in some area of our lives, and some type of external source or power control system or some type of pressure that our environment or our circumstances or our past way of being, the way that things have been for a while, are exerting on us to try to kind of keep us from being able to make those changes. And with the moon there today, we're feeling very emotionally disturbed about it because we don't want anything interfering with our ability to protect and take care of ourselves, moon in Leo. So that's the nature of a good portion of the energetics today. And it's not just today. This has been activated for the past couple of weeks, and it is also going to be withstanding and lasting throughout the next couple of weeks as well. And this is definitely, I mean, not the next couple of weeks, but also throughout the rest of this year. I mean, we also have to keep in mind this is only the second of 3 squares, exact squares that are going to happen. The third will happen in December. So things that are happening now, coming back up now for a reevaluation, because this is the retrograde square. Saturn is retrograde, and that's why this square is happening, and Mercury is also retrograde. And not only is Mercury retrograde, but Mercury was retrograde in conjunction to the solar new moon and Gemini eclipse that happened just last week, and that is also an energetic that's carrying us through the rest of the month. And also today we have the sun in square to Neptune at 24 degrees of Gemini, which I will talk more about in a little bit, but that is also activating the second Mercury retrograde square today simultaneously. So we have 2 retrograde squares being activated today, and I really think that part of the reason that we are going to be re-experiencing right now any things relating to the themes that happened in November in January and February is because of this Mercury retrograde and square to Neptune, all of these planets in square to Neptune, this new moon in square to Neptune, that is really uncovering things about the past that happened in the past around that same period of time that were hidden, that were unclear, that were deceptive in some type of way, that were not straightforward, or that were made into some type of an illusion, or that we just couldn't see clearly for whatever reason. We're getting new information, we're learning new things, we're getting new alternative viewpoints, new versions of reality and the facts and information, and people having different sides of the story coming up right now in regards to things that have been, like I said, hidden and deceptive and not clear in the past. We're learning new information about that now through this retrograde process that is changing our minds, changing our ideas and our perspectives on how we look at these things so that we can have more clarity and have a better idea of where those changes that we want to be making right now and the changes that we're undergoing right now, where they're truly going to lead and what truly is in the best what is best for the outcome. We can't really decide fully truly what we want to build right now and create going forward because we don't have all the information. Things have been hidden, things have been untruthful, things have been unclear, things have been shrouded in some type of illusion. And we're building a new world right now, and we're really rebuilding our lives in a completely different way in a lot of cases for a lot of people. And we can't, even though we have lots of options coming in right now, lots of information, lots of alternatives and opportunities, lots of opportunities right now, we can't be making these hard, solidified decisions yet, Saturn retrograde, because we just don't have all the information. But right now, with the square to Uranus and Taurus coming back around, and the sun in square to Neptune today, the same degree where Mercury was in square to Neptune, and the fact that the sun was conjunct Mercury in square to Neptune during this recent new moon Gemini cycle, I think that what we're learning right now is what is causing these, whatever happens with this. It's really hard to say with Uranus. Uranus is the unpredictable planet. You never know what's going to happen with Uranus, but I really think that whatever things happen and occur this week and this month under these energetics are going to be a result of new information, a second look at what happened then, changing our feelings about it, coming back around now, and making things erupt and explode again. And this time, and it's in a really big way because we have Mars coming into that opposition and square over the next couple weeks as well. So it's a lot going on. The past coming back into play, new information, changing how we feel about it, really heating things up again, making it relevant. And then we're going to gain clarity. And then as we move through the winter into December, once we have attained a different level of clarity, a different level of understanding, and we really like kind of know what happened finally, then we will experience this aspect again. These themes will come up again, and we will be able to finally, you know, put the picture together and really figure out what direction we're going and how we're going to build going forward. But today, moving on, just to continue addressing the energetics at hand, the sun today is at 24, like I mentioned, at 24 degrees of Gemini. This Sabian symbol is children skating on ice. So we need to be careful with information, Gemini today, and the ability to deceive and to be deceptive, propaganda, spinning narratives, creating fantasies, creating illusions around things, very strong today. We need to be careful with information, children skating on ice. And not only is, you know, this indicated by the Sabian symbol associated with this degree, but also because at 24 degrees of Gemini, that means the sun is in an exact square to Neptune today at 24 degrees of Pisces. Deception, lies, hiding things, but also on the flip side, those things being exposed. And more so, this is happening. I mean, they're both happening simultaneously. However, the victory is weighted on the side of exposing things that are hidden and information coming out because of all the emphasis of Gemini, because of the placement of the eclipse, and because the nodes are in Gemini right now, and also because this is also the same degree where Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, was for his square to Neptune as well. This degree right now, children skating on ice, 24 degrees of Gemini, because of the context of this year, is highlighted for exposure and also really strong attempts at deception. So we need to be careful with information. This is very, very much a time about gathering information, observing, analyzing, going through things, taking a second look at things, but not coming to concrete decisions, not solidifying what we think or believe, keeping an open mind and being very adaptable to changing circumstances, changing situations, changing information, and changing facts, changing reality, basically. But with this square going on today, and the fact that we have the exact square between Neptune and Uranus, there is just something about today where there are massive attempts at deception, and those are and then there's massive veils being lifted as well. Both of those going on, both of them having to do with a massive clash between an authority, a controller, long-standing in power, and the desire to achieve authentic liberation, freedom of self-expression, and the ability to align with authentic personal value. And then again, the moon lining up opposite it, defending our like loyalty, pride, courage, and a commitment to what we love and what we're dedicated to. Very passionate about all of this that's going on, creating even more like emotional conflict, emotional tension, and potential for just like very explosive emotional outbursts. That would be a very good indication of this energetic, explosive emotional outbursts, and lack of self-control as well, and just like really crazy things happening. Accidents too could potentially be a theme of this energetic. So yeah, the moon and square gets giving us the first taste of what's coming. Very surprising actions and behaviors done to either control or rebel or liberate that can create intense drama and conflict with that. Mercury today is at 19 degrees retrograde, Mercury retrograde, 19 degrees of Gemini. And this degree is large archaic volumes reveal, or in a museum, large archaic volumes reveal traditional knowledge. And again, this is conjunct the sun in exact square to Neptune today. And this makes me feel like long withheld information and secrets of the past coming to light and being revealed. I also think that we are, with this Sun Neptune square today and the Saturn Uranus square as well, are moving into a period that is very strongly highlighted for everything, like I say, everything woo-woo, conspiracies that have been kind of hidden under the surface of things for a long time being sort of uprooted, given a second look, and being validated in a lot of cases. This whole UFO thing, I think, is going to really, really take off, like, now, pretty much. I think we're going to find out a lot of long withheld secrets about that, you know, now that we have the Sun in square to Neptune and Mercury retrograde and just all of this Neptune square going on. Jupiter also in Pisces. Jupiter is the truth, especially in terms of beliefs, coming into Pisces, trying to break the illusion, break people out of this hypnosis and this mass delusion that we've been in. And a major component of this is the more metaphysical and controversial sides of the nature of our reality, that the more spiritual components of it as well, that are not as well known, the spiritual laws of this reality, and kind of what is operating on the other side of the curtain that people don't really talk about, gaining some type of legitimacy and being validated in some way during this period of time and as we move forward. And that, again, is a theme that makes sense moving into the age of Aquarius, because Aquarius rules like telepathy and like future oriented things, and the future of spirituality, and really like elevating and evolving the understanding of our relationship to the divine as well is a component of the Aquarian theme. Also, remember, today we still have the black moon in an exact trine to Pluto. So this is going on under the surface of everything else, but it is also lending an extreme hand to the way that these energetics are playing out. And it's also sort of an underground driving and motivating force behind a lot of this what's going on with Uranus, that's pushing us to strive for this liberation and authenticity, to be ourselves in whatever area of life that this is impacting. And because this is really creating deep internal subconscious psychic transformations and purges and cleansings of, you know, long held patterns of behaviors and ways of thinking and fears that are held on a really deep level, and subconscious programming being purified, transformed, and really evolved to a greater, higher level right now. And that in itself is really bringing us more in touch with who we are and what's important to us on a really deep level, our true values and what we hold really deeply and meaningful, the black moon in Taurus. And simultaneously with Uranus and Taurus as well, that is helping to push us towards a desire to break free into that authentic relationship with ourself and our internal value, and embody that and integrate that more and more into our conscious experience. And that is what is causing the Uranian urge to break free in whatever area of life. And of course, whatever area of life this is happening for you is depicted and shown based on your natal chart and how this breaks down for you, and what house you have Uranus and what house you have Saturn, and all of these planets are going on. And in order to find that out, you can, you know, look up your natal chart, or you can get a reading and we can talk about it and show you exactly how this is playing out for you. But it's really just a process of the return to authenticity, and it's affecting us individually, and it's creating these struggles and these dynamics in our lives as we, you know, evolve and consciously and try to come back in touch to who we truly are and what's truly important to us, and break free from the limitations that have kept us from being able to attain that throughout our life. And also, it has a lot to do with new things, again, that we are learning and breaking the illusion. Sun square to Neptune, coming into truth, Jupiter coming into Pisces, South Node in Sagittarius, North Node in Gemini. We're sorting through information right now. We're coming to clarity, but it's not happening yet. This is part of the process. So overall, we have an intense and challenging, shocking and surprising start of the week going on in some areas of life. But towards the end of the week, as we approach the solstice, we are going to have some really beautiful energy, some really beautiful energetics that are very much uplifting and hopeful and full of optimism and luck and blessings going on as well. So it's not all intensity and conflict this week, because we will have the sun and the moon and Jupiter forming a grand trine in water signs later this week, and that is going to, like I said, do a lot to really bring in some abundance and some hope and some luck and some blessings and some optimism for us as we move into the end of the week. But that is what we're looking at for today. Just so you know, again, just because these conflicts are happening does not mean that they're a bad thing. That does not mean that we have to get drawn down into really feeling aligned with the negative vibrations that they are associated with or that they're creating. This is a part of the process. We are all going through a tremendous catharsis right now, and it has to do with having illusions being broken and shattered that have been with us for a very long period of time, so that we can understand the truth and know what's really going on, so that we can make the best choices moving forward that are going to lead to our ultimate fulfillment and our highest ability to attain the potential that we were born to in this lifetime. So that is my report for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found something in there that can help guide you through your day and the first part of your week. And if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers, the more shares, and the more comments, and the more likes I have, the more we can get this channel moving through the algorithm, so that more people can get access to this information. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you back here tomorrow for my video for Tuesday. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and remember, it's intense energy out there. It's part of the process, and ultimately it's a good thing. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.